Well, this is Tancred. He's a rook chick, and I found him 10 days ago. And he's the most extraordinary character, full of intelligence and inquisitiveness. Whatever I'm doing, he sort of says, "Gosh, that's exciting. What are we going to do now?" I found him about 10 days ago, looking very, very weak indeed. Since then, he's put on a huge amount of weight, and his feathers have developed immeasurably. In fact, when I found him, I wasn't sure if he was a rook or a crow. But the circumstances, as well as his appearance, have made me decide, along with my partner Claire's help, that he's a rook as well. I don't actually know whether it's a boy or a girl. I've no idea. Of course, in these parts we have 4 corvids. We have the small ones, the jackdaws with the hooded head. We have these fellas, the rooks and the crows. And finally the big old ravens, famous from the White Tower. They're much more common than you expect the ravens are. All 4 species are much maligned, really. I suppose it's because they're black and they're associated with carrion. And then there's the Hitchcock film, The Birds. And I think you guys make a few appearances in Shakespeare, usually as creatures of the night and death, hell and destruction and all that sort of thing. Yes, he wasn't very nice, was he? No, not at all. Now, Tancred is distinguishable as a rook because he's got a paler beak. He's actually white underneath his beak there. And when he's older, he'll be bald on his face. And perhaps that's another reason why they're a bit malign. They don't look very attractive, really, when they're older. Then there's the shape of the tail, which is sort of, really, it's rather like my father's shoehorn used to be, really. And he gets a very, when you're finished, we get a purple iridescence on the feathers, apparently on a rook, which crows don't have. He's supposed to develop shaggy trousers, which distinguish him as a rook, but we don't seem to have those yet at all. I found him hunkered down in a patch of spent daffodils and crocosmia, and I watched him for most of the day before I realised at about 8 o'clock at night that he wasn't going to survive the night. We still had frosts then, and it was at that point that I sort of brought him in and left him in the garden for the night, really. And it was only the following morning that I gave him a syringe of water and started to give him something to eat. Where did he come from? Well, the rookery is about 800 yards away, I suppose. There's about, I should think there's about, 40 or 50 pairs in 5 big, tall oak trees that go alongside the canal there. He must have either been pushed out or fallen out and been carried here. But the odd thing is that the row of oaks is on the other side of the canal, and rooks don't swim. So how the hell did you get here? We have no idea. It must have been with the help of something or other. I've made him 2 sort of nest boxes. They're orange boxes, navel orange boxes, and I've put dry maple leaves at the bottom. He seems to be quite happy in there, and he goes in there in the conservatory at night. And initially I fed him on my Florence the cat, her food, but with a bit more research we found that about 40% of their diet is carnivorous, and I tell you what, he loves bananas and a bit of apple, raisins, and we give him a little bit of minced beef to keep him going. I guess that's what's plumped him up no end. He's getting mobile now. He hopped out of his nest to get here, and it was he who chose to go on my arm like this. Loves a shower, and he's beginning to explore the garden and stretch his wings out hop and jump about. It'd be great if he learnt to fly, and it'd be great, of course, if he returned to his own kind. I suppose that's too much to ask. Intensely sociable, loves attention, as you can see. One thing I have learnt is that they live to a prodigious age, so he might well outlast me. It would be lovely if he went home somehow. I don't know if it's too much to ask, but he's been a great little friend during the lockdown, haven't you? Yes, you have. Yes. Have a bite of that. And occasionally I've wondered, actually, if he hasn't been sent on an intelligence mission by the leadership of the great Corvids over in the rookery up there to gather information, intelligence about us, the human race, to find out if we're really worthy custodians of the countryside and of the land and of the planet. What do you think? What do you think? Anyway, that's Tancred, the Corvid Corvid.